When I first heard the NATO conference was coming to Dayton on the news like everybody else did, I said, oh wow, I would love for the Sewing Collaborative to be involved in this in some way. And then in January of 2025, I received an email from Andy Schwartz from the Lion Group. Lion was tied up with production sewing, and they said, hey, you might want to talk to the Sewing Collaborative. The initial meetings, it was kind of chaotic. We knew what the end goal was, but how do we design a bag that everyone would like to have? On the bags themselves, the external fabric, the outer shell, is made from firefighter fabric. The basis that the Sewing Collaborative operates under is we try to nurture the environment. We are really big on recycling, upcycling, reusing fabric. As we were designing the bag, we wanted it to represent, who Dayton is and the history of Dayton. So adding in the aviation components wasn't anything that the client necessarily asked for. It was something that we said, hey, how about this? From the day that we received that first email to when we had to have the 660 bags done was 156 days. And so, as you can imagine, everything was warp speed. It took us about 30 days to source everything and get it. So, at that point, we're looking at a little over, I think it was 70 days to create 660 bags. And we had about 40 people that worked on making the bags. And that represents, I think it was about 3,300 hours of sewing and cutting and prepping the material. So we designed the bag. They set up the digital pattern so that they could cut the fabric for us on their large cutting machines. So I think one of the things that would be surprising about the construction of the bag is the number of steps it takes to construct it, but also just the number of parts and pieces and that go into that. I think all up and in there was like 18 pieces for each bag to bag. They're exactly the same. That is a lot of complexity to get there and a lot of skill, obviously, from the sewist. So it really came together really nicely, and we're really proud.
Dayton is innovative and we're collaborative. So we knew it would be a big partnership with different partners in the community coming together to make this happen. There really was no other way for us to present Dayton than having actual people in Dayton creating these bags. People loved how it really told a story of Dayton. As I mentioned, our innovation, our aviation history, and just the community coming together. I had known about our history with the Dayton Peace Accords and how meaningful that was, but it wasn't until I'm sitting in the room with all of these delegates and you're just seeing that this is so special. And it is so meaningful. So for me, I got emotional then, just like I got emotional now, because when I think about it, talking to some of the leaders who are from the Bosnia region, they teach Dayton in their schools of what happened here. And I think that will continue because those leaders came back 30 years later to talk peace again. So I think that is what meant the most to me, and the pride in our community to be able to pull this off.